u/significant love for 1,405 Askreddit. What is too expensive but shouldn't be?
Welcome to
AutoGenLabs.
Daily Reddit content.
By robots.
For the internet.
Printer ink.
College tuition in the US.
Insulin and EpiPens.
housing. There's absolutely no reason that the townhouse I bought 11 years ago should be valued at $260,000 more than I paid for it. Life.
Food.
Dental work.
Food, housing, gas, breathing.
Anything medical related in the United States.
A lot of medications. There's this one company link that's trying to remedy this by selling every med with only a 15% markup. I haven't tried it myself, but it may be worth checking out at least. Most diabetes stuff on there costs $5 minus 15. Remember when that life-saving beep meds were sold at over $1? It's about $15 minus 45 here. Maybe I'm being too optimistic, but it might help some people.
Everything.
Lettuce is now way more expensive than avocados.
Diamonds. Bloody common as dirt. Controlled marketing keeps them pricey.
What asterisk isn't asterisk expensive nowadays? Life in general is expensive.
Asterisk dishes at everything asterisk.
Insulin.
Went.
Funerals.
Cat litter. May as well be buying gold sand for her to beep in.
Adoption process overall. I agree there should be checks etc. The process itself is difficult and draining between legal fees etc. My young son said why is so expensive to do something good. He had a point.
Menstrual products. Beer at concerts.
Groceries in general.
Eggs.
Glasses.
Vet visits. Ticketmaster fees, all these ticketing site fees are out of control really. Those service fees.
That's on me.
Propane/natural gas. I live where we have to use gas because of the weather and my bill has always been around $100. The past 2 months and it's been over $300 without anything in my daily routine changing. I have no idea what's going on. I've already checked for a gas leak. I live where it's summer for 3 months and winter the rest and hurricane winds will take you out. There's no in between. It's so cold where I live. No one has AC in their houses because it's not needed. That's why the hot, cold weather demand we use gas, not electric. Gas heats quicker than electricity.
Dentist.
Chips. Chips over here in the UK. It's just fried potato chunks. They shouldn't be costing me around £4 sterling.
Razors.
Beef jerky.
Contact lenses.
Insulin.
Healthcare.
Literally anything.
Eggs. Did the chickens go on strike or something?
Ambulance, like seriously, beep it should be free. Why do people pay taxes? Aren't these taxes enough? Beep ya hits. Also health services ye. Not everyone has insurance. This is not fair.
The Elsie from games.
It's a rip-off when you have to pay an arm and a leg for a packet of chips.
Think about why civilizations exist. Far back into the past before it became the personal property of landowners. Why people work together in the first place. It allows them to provide shelter and food to each other, even to the unproductive like children and the elderly or infirm. Each person provides for the group and in turn the group protects them as their own even when they cannot contribute anymore. We've slipped back into this Earth civilization state many times over the history of mankind with examples like Egypt providing state-sponsored healthcare, food and shelter for the pyramid builders. Right now, the most prominent civilizations on Earth don't provide even basic shelter for their citizens. Think of all the things we need to survive as humans, and we have to pay for all of it.
Food, water, housing, etc. These are basic needs. They shouldn't be so expensive, no, forget that. They shouldn't even require money.
Eating healthy.
Medicine.
Everything.
Travel between major cities in the US. We should have a much more efficient high-speed train network instead of relying on inefficient airplanes.
Insulin.
Health insurance.
Water edit, clean water. Internet should be a public service and not private. Like electricity or water. You can't get a job or do school homework without the internet.
The top 0.1% are costing a lot of us a beep of a lot.
Gas prices.
Taco Bell.
Diamonds are artificially inflated so that.
Groceries and healthcare. From the UK, reducing the cost of these 3 things would improve life considerably. 1. Heating. 2. Housing. 3. Children millennials aren't abandoning left-wing idealism as they age because you can't become more conservative when there's nothing to conserve.
Those robotic litter boxes. I'm sorry, I'm not saying $750 for something that my cat beep and beep in.
All medicine ever.
Menstrual hygiene products, also bras.
Insulin.
Mobile games, microtransactions.
Life-saving medical treatments and medicines like insulin, which are absolutely necessary to one's survival, at least in the US.
Food.
Healthcare and housing in the US.
Diamonds. Not as rare as we're taught to believe, and we are able to create them in labs.
The cost of living in general.
Chicken wings.
Popeye's 8-piece with 4 biscuits and mashed potatoes equals $35 Troy. Al.
Living in the United States in general.
Car parts.
Rent.
Living in the US.
Medications US.
Turkey.
Food.
T-shirts. Insulin.
Insulin.
The Q-set enameled cast iron.
Sanitary items, tampons, etc.
Glasses and contact lenses. Hurts my soul that I have to pay a lot of money to literally see when others can do it for free.
Can all food be free? Like we just go back to when we traded stuff. Like I'll give you a baby goat that my eldest goat recently hid, and I'll take a few tomatoes from my soup tonight because mine are still growing right now.
Anything that is designed to fail. Planned obsolescence.
Healthcare. I am in the US obviously, and 3 years ago, before the pandemic started, I started vomiting profusely. Now, I am never sick, so I figured I'd just eaten something bad and went to bed. I woke up a couple hours later vomiting again with a high fever. I was delirious and dizzy. I called my mom. I'm a single mom of 2 kids, and she insisted I go to the hospital. I freaked out because my deductible is $7,000 and I couldn't afford a multi-$1,000 bill. I told her I would wait another 24 hours and see how I felt. So for 24 more hours, while trying to care for my kids, I puked and had a terrible headache and gastric pain. I finally agreed to go to hospital, and when I got to the waiting room, I almost had a panic attack, while vomiting, thinking about how much this was going to cost me. I almost left. Anyway, got into room, was given Roman 4 and antibiotics, and stayed for about 3 hours of observation. Finally went home and collapsed. When I got the bill a month later, it was $4,700. I cried for a bit and then decided to do some research. The hospital I went to was a non-profit, and after digging through their website, I found a page that gave info on how to plead poverty or inability to pay. I wrote the letter and it was denied. I called to ask why, and luckily got on the phone with a nice lady who explained to me what I could do, and she actually saved my beep. I ended up paying $500 to an out-of-network doctor who had done some procedure on me. He wouldn't negotiate, despite my calling his office numerous times, but the rest of my bill was dismissed. It was nerve-wracking for me, and this is why I wear a mask everywhere I go. Well, I also don't want to get sick because I cannot afford the care if I do contract REV, strep or kraken.
The populated and unused land in Australia. It's almost like they rig the laws to stop you from escaping a mortgage, a 9-to-5 grind. Well, not almost, fairly sure they do exactly that.
Insulin, diapers, tampons, ammo and water.
Healthy eating, women's feminine hygiene products.
Being poor.
Car insurance, when you're a safe driver with no accidents and low annual mileage.
Not being wealthy. Not being able to afford bulk buying, lack of choice in services due to cost, having to use credit, paying interest, paying taxes. It's expensive being poor.
Being able to live a dignified life.
College.
The printer market really is a sham. Inkjet printers are really only designed to last a few years and be replaced. Mainly because they purposely redesign the ink cartridges and discontinue the older ones, forcing you to either find a way to refill the ones you have, or buy a new printer, which is what they are really aiming for. It's such a scam.
Living.
Insulin.
Medicine that makes it so you can actually live, such as insulin, heart meds, etc.
Lego sets. They used to be like $10, now they're selling for close to $100.
Rent and a house.
Everything is expensive. The bad part is that there is always a jump in the price of consumer goods, education, housing, and healthcare included that precedes any increase in living wages. About 2 years in, they finally decide minimum wage should increase, which is great. Except it's too far gone already.
By that time, it's time for another price increase in those aforementioned things. And while minimum wage increases don't get me wrong, that's a great thing, all other wages seem to remain relatively stagnant.
Pads and bras.
Diesel. In the USA. It burns cleaner than gasoline petrol, yet it is twixt the price.
Existing in use offer.
Feminine hygiene products.
Menstrual pads.
Fast food. People bought it before because it was convenient and cheap. It really isn't cheap anymore.
Sanitary pads and tampons.
Healthy food options.
Pads and tampons.
Tampons.
Almost everything in the US that is necessary for living, education, healthcare, safety, fresh and healthy food.
A decent Basal seems stupidly expensive compared to a decent car when you consider that the latter is infinitely more complex.
Pads and tampons.
Food in Ukraine is 2 times more expensive because of war.
Couches and stuff similar.
Electricity. We actually cracked the code with nuclear, and if we had stuck with it globally, certainly would have gotten to fusion much faster. For the amount of energy nuclear fission produces, it's currently one of, if not the safest, cleanest, and over the entire lifespan of a plant, cheapest energy you can get.
Eyeglasses. It's a global monopoly.
Healthcare. American hero.
I ain't a woman, but I'd say tampons and stuff like that. Not actually sure how much that stuff is, but whatever it costs, it's too expensive because it shouldn't have a price, as it's not a choice to buy it, it's a necessity and is needed. Also, batteries are expensive as Femina. I had to pay £9 sterling for a pack that had 8 batteries.
Diamonds.
All medications in the US.
Logos. Insulin.
Getting married.
Bras who got away with making them so expensive.
Period products.
At the moment, cotton of eggs.
Diamonds. Completely manufactured value.
Small one-bedroom apartments. It shouldn't be so difficult to afford a basic space.
Thanks for watching. This has been an AutoGenLabs production. That means that this video was created by a robot out of content on Reddit. We show all account names and list them in the description to credit the Redditor community that makes our work possible. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to our channel. We post new videos every day. If you have any suggestions for videos you would like to see, please leave a comment. Our human department for public relations reads all of them, or won't be let out of their cages again. Goodbye.